Good morning, everyone. So tackling packaging is an operation that we launched last year, and it's something that I thought was very interesting because it really involved everyone. So the idea was brought to us by the French National Environmental Agency. They needed packaging data so that they could create an environmental impact score, and they didn't have data. They don't have a database of packaging information. So they came to us asking, can you, with your community, can you create this database? And we said, of course, let's do it. And so we created a new data model, a very detailed one, where we looked at each piece of the packaging, and we said, okay, we are going to weight each piece, etc. So we created this new data model, and so what's on the next slide, Charles?
And we created also new interfaces.
And new interfaces, yes. So once we have this data model, we change the website, the mobile app, and the Pro platform to import this data. And then we launch a big crowdsourcing operation. We had the good thing about packaging is that it means a lot of things to a lot of people. So people were very interested. We had a lot of press. We went into cooperative supermarkets talking about it, doing scan parties, etc. And so it involved consumers, but we also involve manufacturers. Manon and Sarrazin, they went to see all the producers we are in contact with, asking, okay, do you have packaging data? Please give it to us. It turns out that most companies actually don't have packaging data. A few did, and so we got in total 12,000 products with full packaging data. And then we created some tools to use this data. So for instance, you can do graphs. So those graphs, we have them for salt and sodium and fat and sugar and all that. And now you can do it for packaging as well.
Another program that you were in charge, Stéphane, is about Contribalim. Can you say a word about it also?
Yeah, Contribalim is very interesting because one thing that is always a bit not annoying, but that is a bit restrictive about OpenFoodFacts is that it's mostly about scanning products. So products that have barcodes, like the one we ate yesterday. But we don't want people to just eat food that comes from the supermarket. We want them to go to open air market. We want them to cook. And that's why we were very interested when, again, another research consortium, they went to us and they asked, could you create a tool for cooking recipes to compute the Nutri-Score? So we created that tool with the help of some of you. You can just add ingredients, and then you select, okay, I'm going to do a chicken, and I'm going to add some eggplants. And then you can try to, you see the Nutri-Score at the bottom, and then you can have a conversation and say, okay, what if I change the fat? Can I improve the score of my recipe? So that's a research tool. It's going to be used it is used actually in a workshop in some suburbs of Paris. But it's something that we could extend. It's a step to go beyond those packaged food products and think, all the things that we do for OpenFoodFacts for packaged products, can we do similar things for restaurants? Can we do it for school restaurants, for instance? Can we do it for home cooking? So that's why I thought it was a very interesting project to start on.
We are doing this for the Nutri-Score because we're in France, but of course we could adapt to other countries. For example, calculating the scores in South America, for example, you may have seen all those black octagons in South America saying there is too much sugar and things like that. And as we are calculating the nutrition table, I think it's not only for French audience or European audience. That's why I think it's interesting.
Yeah, and that's as usual when we create projects on OpenFoodFacts, we do them in a way that they can be reused in other contexts, in other countries. So here we have the Nutri-Score, but of course it would be very easy to add environmental impact score, so that then you would see that my chicken with eggplant recipe, maybe I could improve it by just removing the chicken.
Okay, and also we have a big effort in 2023 for going global. And Manon was leading this. Can you talk about it very quickly?
So yeah, we've been working with Pierre as well and many volunteers on trying to take the non-profit global. So there is the technical stuff, translating the taxonomy and translating the content of the website as well, and a lot of other aspects, like we developed a connection with Baya, which is a software that food manufacturers are using, so that helps us to get data from them. But you said I need to be quick, so yeah. We did a lot of fairs as well. We really enjoy traveling and meeting manufacturers where they are. So these are a few photos of the team in Germany and Italy. And yeah, we're always very happy to include volunteers. So we keep you posted when we go traveling to fairs, and hopefully we'll see you there.
You may haven't seen this work, but it's very interesting because it allows us to have contacts with the producers, and not only in France, but of course all over the world. For the moment, focusing Europe, but maybe in the next future, other continents. Why not?
So yeah, we have onboarded new producer. I don't have the number, but we're about 250 producers now, which represent a lot of brands and requires a lot of support. So I'm excited to move to the workshop this afternoon so we can talk how to remove the support as much as possible. And yeah,
a number which is very interesting, I guess, is that when producers are sending us data, it's generally the big producers, okay, retailers or big brands. And big brands and retailers generally are products from the top 10,000 products. So many of these products are scanned by people. So we have this number, which is very interesting, that 1 for 5 scans come from the producers. So it's a very interesting, you didn't understand that? Yeah, okay. It's that shows that it's very important for us to go to talk to them and to try to get their data. And now a few words from Gala, which has done a huge work about the community. Can you say some words about it?
Yes. So to try to engage the community more efficiently, we try to organize the permanent team as team reference, and it can also change because, you know, contributors could be team reference if they're up for it. So we've kind of defined 6 different teams according to the big directions that we deal with in the projects. We try to kind of group them together. The idea is that someone who is new to OpenFoodFacts signs on a form. We then know what their interests are, how much time they can allocate, and we can involve them better. So we've been trying to get this going, and hopefully it will take, there will be attraction for it, and we will also organize more regular meetups with people, so we are not always behind our computers, but we actually, because we can see that it's much nicer to actually meet people in person or on the Zoom or something. Yes, I think that's it.
Yeah, are you aware that there are monthly meetings around these topics? So you should, if not. And these meetings are completely open. Everyone can attend. You don't have to register. Generally, there are regular dates. For example, for the data quality meeting, it's, Benoit said this yesterday, it's the first Tuesday of the beginning of each month. And so, for example, for the server, there is a meeting every week on every Monday at 4 p.m. And so on. So there are these regular meetings. You can come. You don't have to say anything. You enter the session, and you can come just to listen, to understand what is the topic, or and if you want to participate more, of course, you're welcome. This image is interesting. It's all the ideas suggested by the people on a very big whiteboard, okay, a digital whiteboard, so the people could had sticks, and you see there are many ideas, and it has been a long process to summarize this and to find the good ways for the next mobile app. It was also very interesting. And there are also progresses in the light or under the hood, maybe you don't know about. For example, we make progress on the mobile app, of course, on the ingredients recognition, on category recognition, logos recognition, thanks to AI and thanks to the big work of Raphael. Also, you might not know that OpenFoodFacts images are on AWS. So it makes possible for you, for researchers, to use this image to try to capture, to gather, to recognize new data. Also, there has been this huge work from Alex and Stefan and the rest of the team about hardware and software infrastructure, and also John. This is a very important work that you don't see, or you see it because it's working, okay, and the platform is working. But it was necessary for us to improve this because we were getting more and more little issues about it, and so we must thank Alex for this very big work. Also, we took some time to prepare the new environmental labeling and the new Nutri-Score. Work about data quality, we talked about it yesterday.
Also something I forgot to do a workshop about yesterday, to propose a workshop about yesterday, but we had an intern, which is called Prisk, who has done an internship about on GDPR compliance and rewriting the privacy policy. So it's still in the, how you say, it's not published, but we will publish it in the next month. So we have done all the work on this because we were a bit behind on those arguments. So we tried to be at the good point.
So if we are looking ahead to 2024, first thing is that indicators are mainly green for OpenFoodFacts. That's the first fact. The community is really growing, more involved. There is a better supported by a big team now, a bigger team. There are more and more products, usages, reusers. We see this every year. For example, we are monitoring the number of reusers, the number of new mobile apps reusing the data, and it's growing every year and still continue to grow. That's very interesting. And also many interesting projects in the pipe. We'll see that later. And the main projects we do have today are funded, which is also important, and delivered in time, which is also important. And activity is already funded for 10 months, which is very, very interesting for this kind of, for our kind of organization. Okay, just a quick point, quick focus on finances. You can see in 2022 our budget was about 500,000 euro, and in 2024 it will be around 660,000 euro. What are we working on currently, and so what will be launched in the next weeks or months? Many projects. Some projects are during 2-3 years, sometimes 4 years. So it's a continuous and long effort sometimes. For example, the Google Impact Challenge started in 2022, and we continue to work to deploy the EcoScore all over Europe. Of course, the EcoScore, thanks to the big work of all the team, and Pierre in particular, has been already deployed in Europe, but not for all the products. So we are trying to categorize the products to be sure that they will have an EcoScore in the near future. Nutri-Score V2 at the end of 2023. It's not only for France, because you might know now Nutri-Score is deployed in other countries such as Germany, Spain, or Switzerland, or Belgium. Yes, thank you very much. So this is important for us to be ready when it will be launched at the beginning of 2024. The new mobile app, we talked about it yesterday. Search Alicius is the new search engine. Could you say a word about it? Very quickly.
Yes, I can say a few words. So you may have noticed our current search functionality is okay, but not perfect. Like, you don't always get like the most relevant results when you search something in OpenFoodFacts. And we knew it had to be improved like for many years, but we got a funding from like NGI Search. And the good news is like in the coming months, you will be able to have like a faster search, more relevant, and like a brand new interface for like advanced search. So if you're looking for very specific products, and if you're like a researcher or reuser of data, I think yes, in the coming months you will be happy to see like you could do like many more things with OpenFoodFacts search than before.
So OpenProductsFact was initially an April Fool's joke. So we actually launched it on April 1st. And it was basically a moderation play to ensure that we gather all the products that were not food that people actually sent us already. The fact of the matter is there's a climate urgency, that the landfills are full of objects that we don't love, and we are surrounded by objects, chairs, table, etc. And those objects, we throw many of them away, either because we don't care for them anymore, because they are broken, because we have no use for them. And in many cases, we throw them away because it's easier. It's easier to just throw an object rather than look for a new owner or repair it and then resell it. So basically, OpenProductsFact is all about defragmenting all the data around objects all the circular APIs that allow for circular use cases and augmenting the lifespan of objects by providing circular solution at every step. So we will be moving forward with OpenProductsFact this year as we got the first financement, we got the first financial support for it. And because there's a legislative context around it, France is going to put in place the durability index and an eco-score for non-food products. So there's a very nice window of opportunity to actually start tackling all the other objects. And finally, it's also a nice way for us to reduce technical debt and to give OpenProductsFact, OpenBeautyFact, and OpenPetFoodFact the attention they deserve and to reduce cost of maintaining them. So yeah, that's it for OpenProductsFact.
This is a very important project. It starts in France, but we hope that, like the Nutri-Score, it could gain traction all over Europe and maybe elsewhere. So we put an effort on this project. It's also a way to grow horizontly. Okay, so it's an important project. Recipe Estimator project is a little project to have a better computation of the eco-score, because we have to know the percentage of ingredients in each recipe to better compute the eco-score. And so there is an ongoing project about this. It's a very technical project led by Stefan, but it's and Alex, sorry. John, oh yeah. Yes, sorry. It has changed. So yes, led by John. Thank you very much, John. Pro-platform improvements, I won't detail, but you can ask Manon if you want to know the next big step about it next month. When you think we haven't more, we have more. There are this Divine Food project, which is a European project to better support beans and seeds biodiversity. It's a big consortium with about, I guess, more than 20 organizations. We have a little role in this project, but we'll try to add value to the in terms of information to this new kind of to these beans. We will continue, of course, our special effort on data quality. It has begun in 2022. Of course, data quality was a preoccupation a long time before, but now we are organized to go further on this topic. Also, global improvements of the platforms and infrastructure will continue. We will still going more global. We will still better working as a community. That is very important for us. Not to have strong links between all of us, and in particular the permanent team and the community. We should never work alone, the permanent team, and we try. I think it's since 1 year and a half is very strong in the team. We try to build everything we are building with the community and not alone. Sometimes it's a bit difficult, but we really try hard. And maybe another project which could start in 2024 is a new, also big project, which would be a collaborative platform to monitor the product evolution. Okay, so to add the history of the products in OpenFoodFacts. We already have some kind of history, but this is a technical history. This is all the modifications, but we don't know if the modifications is a fix, for example, or an evolution of the product. So we would like to monitor the evolution of the products. So when producers are reformulating their products, we would like to know this, and we would like to see what are the evolutions. Are some brands, for example, add more and more sugars, things like that. Yes, Alex?
Another small project that missed being in this is that as part of NGI search, there was an ethical committee, that reviewed the project, and they asked us about moderation. And it's true that today we have some moderation tools, but they are a bit weak. So we take part of the funding to make a moderation tool. So Valentin, which is working with us, will develop something around the moderation to have a better moderation list, to be more collaborative for moderation. Yeah.
You're right, I'm sorry. And Raphael is leading this, and he has already posted in a message in the moderator channel. So if you have concerns about the moderation, things like that, you might have a look to Raphael's message. Last year, I have already shown this graph, but I think it's still important to see it. You know that OpenFoodFacts was born in France, and of course, as the team also is French, as we are located in French, sometimes we tend to focus on France. But we know now that we are not, we're definitely no more a French project. And you can see this is the number of products evolving in red. This is France, and in blue, outside of France. And you see that the tendency is that France is growing less faster, and is tending to, and on the contrary, the blue line, the rest of the world, is tending to grow very fast. So this is very important to have this thing in mind. Just an illustration also of the countries that are gaining more traction. Last year, when I was showing this graph, there was not two new country. This year it was Ireland, yes, and Australia. Okay, so Ireland and Australia has passed the 30,000 products limit threshold. Well, it's a threshold. It's not. I made this choice, but and you can see that also some other countries are gaining more and more traction, such as Germany, Italy, Spain, UK also. So we are also monitoring this, and we try to focus on the countries also that are growing very fast. We have still some difficulties. These difficulties are nearly the same as last year. The first one is very important, is to manage the common good. I won't say it's easy, but funding projects is not so hard, because you are pushing a project, you are saying we want to do that, we want to achieve that, and so funders can support you based on a very concrete project, okay? But OpenFoodFacts is not only a sum of many different projects. It's a whole project. And as a whole project, we have to maintain what we call the common. The common is the everyday work that is needed to, for example, to maintain the servers, to maintain the code, to improve the products, and so on. And this has costs, of course. And for the moment, we didn't arrive to find funds for this. We expect to have good news in 2024 and to try to gather funds for this, but it's still an issue. Maybe if you have ideas about it, you're welcome. And the second one also is to continue to fund the current team. There is no red flag for the moment. It's okay, but it has the current team has grown. Of course, now we are about 9, and we have to pay, of course. And the work of each people in the team is very precious, and we have to be sure that we will be able to maintain in the long term at least this team, because now we are pretty sure that each part of the team, each mission of each people in the team is very, very important for the project. A consequence of all that also is that administrative tasks are getting bigger and bigger, and it's also an issue, but not a very interesting one, but it exists. Also, we talked about it yesterday during the workshop, is the growth of communities in the countries. We still have difficulties. I see Marius say yes, but we still have difficulties to try to find communities really active and communities which would be able to lead the effort in their countries. And it would be a very interesting work to do. Community grants will be launched, and Gala will talk about it in a few minutes. Also, finding volunteers outside of products contribution and the IT is very difficult. Sometimes we would like help for tasks such as administrative tasks or such as funds, and it's very difficult to find skills or people motivated to work on this as volunteers. We still have to address better the data completeness of the products. Data quality is increasing, but data completeness of the products is not increasing as we would like to. For example, only 30% of the products we have a Nutri-Score or an Eco-Score because they are not well categorized. So we have an issue. We detect now very well the category of the products, thanks to Raphael. But in this detection, there are still a lot of false positive. So for the moment, we can do this automatically. But I think we'll have a solution for this. You will be able to click on the link to see the ongoing discussion about it. We are still not measuring well our impact and our activity, but all these points, all these topics have been are now well identified, and we are working on all this. Maybe another thing which is hard is to discuss with the community to the very big goals of the project. When we are talking about topics or projects, it's easy to have a discussion with all the community. And generally, people of the community are interested by 1, 2, 3 projects, but not every project. But when we are speaking about the whole vision, about the whole goal of OpenFoodFacts, it's a bit more complicated. I think we have very strong basis. I think that we have some kind of vision that is plus or minus well shared between all the community. But this is, maybe we could have more active discussion about this. And for example, the international expansion, we should also discuss about this. But I will just left this slide as is, and maybe it can be questions for now or later on.